First of all, welcome everyone. It's good to have you. Now today we have a question again from Peter. And he asks, I constantly felt a lot of pressure between my eyes. If I brought my attention there, I could almost see through it. What is this? So when Peter was meditating, was doing his meditation, and he's doing this practice quite diligently, it seems. He's really following every step in a very detailed way. He's very devoted to precisely following the instructions. And so that is a good thing, first of all. If you are devoted to doing it right, this is very important. Like, make that important. I want to do this right. I want to do this the right way. That it has to be important in the beginning before we actually start to embark on the path with all honesty and in a serious way. Serious here not to be taken as that kind of classic, I'm a very serious person, but taking it with weight. So that will be important first thing. So this pressure between the eyes, this is quite a common thing. Some of you might have experienced that already. If you have, maybe you can raise your hand real quick. Has anyone experienced pressure between their eyebrows while meditating? Good, okay. So this is a classical sign that you are forcing in your meditation practice. You're forcing, you are bringing a tense kind of will into the practice. And that is a clear sign that you're not doing it right. There's a great lack of kindness. There's a lack of relaxation. We're taking it too seriously, forcing too hard. It's almost like when some people, when they concentrate on something, their eyebrows are wrinkling up. I was like, wait a second, I got to see this. It's almost like you're trying to see something. And that kind of sensation of trying to see something, for example, I might be telling you to look at your breath or become aware of your breath or look at your thoughts, etc. And then you actually try to see them visually. You're actually using your inner eye to try to see something. And you're using it prematurely. You're forcing it to open. You're pushing that kind of visual knowing. Pushing the observing. Willing. Forcing your attention upon something. And that results very often, for many people actually, in that very tense sensation between the eyebrows. And then of course, the thing that happens when you feel that tense sensation, you're dwelling with your attention even more there. Oh, there's a tense sensation between my eyebrows. Damn, what's going on? And then you stay there more. And as you stay there more, it's almost like a laser that stays on one point. If it's a potent laser. Or if you're using a magnifying glass to bundle the sunlight, and you're having it on one point. If your attention is constantly focusing on that one tense point, and you're feeling uncomfortable about it, then you are looking with tension at tension. The observer itself is tense. You are experiencing this pain between your eyebrows. You don't know what's going on. Kind of freaks you out a little bit, makes it uncomfortable. And you're focusing even more on it with resistance, with pushing. There's a sense of aversion to it. And that will increase the pain usually. And with it, the stress. And with the stress, then it will increase the stressed out way of looking at the pain. That's kind of like a vicious cycle. That is not only happening with looking at pain between our eyebrows, but this is also happening when you're just having some pain in your body. Usually we're focusing with a sort of obsession on it. We're getting obsessed with the problems that we experience. Well, that could be the subtopic of today. Becoming obsessed with what we don't want. Does that sound familiar? Many people experience that. They become obsessed with what they don't want in their life. I don't want to experience this, I don't want to experience that, I don't want this, I don't want this pain, and there it is again, and I'm still tense, and I don't want it, and it's still there. Waking up in the morning, yeah, it's still there. There's still pain. When will it go away? When will it go away? Some people manage to even maintain some awareness between that, but the awareness actually is constantly carrying this sense of when will it go away? If you're experiencing some pain or something, you want to get rid of it. You're basically resisting it. You're not really aware of it. You're resisting it. There's, for some people, less resistance, for some people, more resistance, and that often is left undetected. We don't actually notice that we are looking at something not with awareness, but with resistance, with aversion or attachment. You might experience a very blissful state in meditation, and you don't recognize the bliss because you are blissed out. And usually the tendency is we do not see ourselves. So we get caught up in the bliss. Wow, this is awesome, this must be it. And then we form conclusions based on our experience, based on our identification with the experience. Big mistake. Each time when you're getting caught up with whatever kind of experience, there is an error in the practice. So we want to basically aim at really establishing a clear sense of awareness that is not caught up with what it observes in any way. But that's not always easy. As when it comes to the pain between your eyebrows, or the pain in your back, or the pain in your knees, or the problems in your life, name it. Awareness loves to dwell there together with resistance. It's almost like resistance would be a certain kind of vehicle, like a car, and awareness drives it. And it looks out of that car at the street in front of it. We're looking out of the window of our resistance at the object. So there is awareness, there is attention, but it looks through the filter of resistance. You can imagine it like that. It's almost like you're looking through a filter. And we can look through all kinds of filters. And usually looking through the filters is left unchecked. We don't see that one. We follow our preferences, what we prefer, what we think is right. We follow our likes, our dislikes. These are all filters. This is all ego. So in order to go beyond those filters, we have to continuously learn to become aware of which filter we are looking through right now. There's various techniques. For example, you can notice whether inside of yourself right now is there liking or not liking. What are you experiencing right now? You might experience some knee pain or pain between your eyebrows. Does it come together with liking or not liking it? That's a clear indication that you're looking through a filter. You're not actually purely looking at it. There's still a filter there. You still don't see the liking or the not liking. You're looking through it, from it, as it. And that usually intensifies the problems that we experience. Like let's say you have a problem in your life, any type of problem, you name it. Then your attention goes there, then the resistance comes, and with the resistance, a whole baggage of emotional stuff. And with the whole baggage of emotional stuff, stories. Fantasies of what's your way out, how did you get in there, what did you do wrong. And then we end up usually in a huge confused bundle of emotional thought complexes in our mind and can't find our way out. And it can feel quite like a storm at times. Just like a storm in the darkness, there's no electricity, you're outside alone, you're lost somewhere on an open field and the storm blows full on. You don't know what to do, where to go. Because we don't see clearly, we have no vantage point, there's no awareness. And establishing awareness within a storm is possible, but not for us. Best to start before the storm starts. Best to have awareness established before the real trouble starts. Before you actually get really angry. That's where you should have awareness. There should be the mindfulness. When the anger is still little, it starts like in a tiny way. Just feel a little bit irritated. There. If you can have mindfulness there, great. You can hop off the train. You're not going into anger land. You're safe. Because anger land is pretty unpleasant. The deeper you get into the heart of anger land, harder it is to go out of it. You could go into depression land. It's another train. The longer you ride it, the deeper you come into the heartland. And in the heartland of depression land, there's just platforms that lead to destinations within depression land. And very rarely is there a train that leads you to the outskirts of depression land where you could jump onto a platform that gets you back out of depression land. So some people are so deeply lost in their depression, there is no way out. They're stuck. Then it's about either suicide, an option, or medication. In heavy cases, heavy medication. But meditation, it does not work. You cannot tell such a person meditate. Why? No energy. And if there's no energy, you can't meditate. Impossible. You're stuck. I'll tell you many times I see people that are very depressed. I would love to get them out. It just doesn't work. Because they would have to get themselves out. You can only ever point to, look, there is a train, hop on it. That's a good one. Stay on it. Stay on it. And some, they have incredibly enough. They have energy to actually do that. And it slowly gets better because some people have been so deeply stuck in this heartland of depression, it takes a very long time for them to get out. Because you've got to bring another point into the equation. It is that you get used to where you dwell most. And it becomes your comfort zone, regardless of how comfortable it is. You might be in a comfort zone that is deeply uncomfortable, deeply disturbing. But it's all you know. Maybe some people are identified with the role of me experiencing misery. Miserable me. That's the role they have to play. That's their comfort zone. I am the miserable me. And all it would take, in all honesty, is a complete mind shift. From I'm a miserable me to I'm a thankful me, for example. But that can only work if there is enough energy to do the jump, to shift your mind. So, and my job here is to help you build this energy, to feel inspired enough so that you can feel, yes, I can do something. And here's something that helps me personally. It's not that I don't experience harsh times or harsh feelings. I work a lot on myself, so I'm bound to constantly meet with my demons. I know them very well. We have quite a relationship going. Not easy. It's on Facebook, you say it's complicated. It is indeed very complicated. Yes, it's not easy. They will try everything to catch me and pull me down. Everything. And thing is, they know me really well. So they know exactly what kind of baits I love. And they know when I bite. So they always catch me off guard. And I only would notice it once I'm already kind of pulled down. Then I notice it. I have like an alarm mechanism. My mindfulness alarm rings each time when I'm not feeling good anymore. When I'm feeling stuck, or when I feel a sense of contraction within my being. I'm not spacious anymore, not open anymore, not allowing anymore. I'm contracting. Very uncomfortable. And I notice through the sense of contraction, through the years of practice, that has worked so far. There is like an alarm that goes off. I'm suffering. There it is. Suffering, stress. It's right there. We got to be honest enough to actually see that. Right now I'm stressed. I'm unhappy. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm depressed. I'm sliding down a hole. Now if I can catch that, what can I do? I can shift my mind. But what is it, I wonder, what is it that keeps us from shifting our mind from one thought set to another set of thoughts? From the thought set, I'm miserable and hopeless. I'm a hopeless case. I'm a hopeless case. To, I'm on track. What's the difference between these two thoughts? I'm a hopeless case. I'll never make it. This is way too difficult and complicated for me. To, I'm on track and I love it. For me in that moment when the demon has struck, I'm a hopeless case, it feels more true. It feels more believable. The voice that inside of my mind says, Tobi, you're totally fucked up. You're a mess. That feels very true. It feels so genuine, so real. Yeah, it's true. I'm a mess. It feels so real I wouldn't doubt it even a second. A little moment I wouldn't even doubt it. So what do I do in these cases? I remember, wait a second, this is a thought. It is something that my mind has learned to think sometime in my life. And then it kind of, in the background, it kept running and it kept solidifying itself, becoming more strong of a pattern, a habit, a thinking habit, becoming stronger and stronger over time without me actually noticing it. And now it's a beast. And if it gets any little attention, any little strength, it devours me instantly. But what is the beast made of? Let me give you that picture. You're in a dream, right? There's a big bear, and the bear chases you. And you've got no bear spray on you, no gun, no defense. The bear is huge. The storm's right at you. And you run away. And there is more bears. They're all around you. You're surrounded by huge grizzly bears. And they're all angry at you. They all want to eat you. There's no way out. You're stuck there. This can be terrifying. Unless you would realize in that moment that you're dreaming. Correct? If you would realize that you would be dreaming those grizzly bears up, you would realize two things. One, there is no substance to them. And two, you and the grizzly bears are one essence. They're the mind looking as if it was two things. And it's all in your head. Since I am a lucid dreamer and I actively practice lucid dreaming, meaning to become aware in a dream, knowing that you dream while you dream without the body waking up, I know what that feels like. And it's pretty much the most amazing thing that could happen to anyone. I highly recommend you to study up on lucid dreaming and get your practice on. You will look forward to your nights. You will love your nights. There's so much potential in that. So being confronted by those bears, it takes only that one little realization that those bears are not real and you're dreaming right now. In a similar way, we are dreaming up self-images as we go along. Have you noticed? All you think you are is dreamt up. And the only difference is that you don't know you're dreaming it up. So it has real impact on your life and on who you are and on what you do and on how you respond, etc., etc. Your mind is your prison. Now, what kind of prison are you in? Maybe it's a golden cage. I'm so grateful, I'm so happy. Still a cage. You're still bound by conceptualizations. You're still dreaming. That's why they call the Buddha the awakened one. The word Buddha means the awakened one. It's not his name. That's not the name mom and dad gave him. The Buddha, it just simply means the one who is awake. Well, awake from what? Now you know. Awake from the dreams of your mind. And if you could just realize, just even a little bit, that who you think you are right now and what you are going through and your life story and all that stuff that you think is so important and so terrifying and so whatnot, you're dreaming it up. And you could instantly change your way of dreaming. What keeps you? If you change the way you handle your mind, if you change the way you think, your life will change. Why don't you change the way you think? Because, I tell you why. There's no mindfulness. We don't realize it. We don't even notice how we think because it just runs on autopilot the whole day long. Num, 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 num. From the morning that you open your eyes to night when you're closing your eyes. Thought after thought after thought after thought. Creation after creation after creation after creation. Creating yourself. Creating an idea of your life. And since there is no mindfulness, we repeat what we did yesterday in thought, in habit, in action, in speech, all over again and again. So we don't really develop. There's no development going. We're stuck. You see people, they come from class to class to class and nothing really changes. They're still miserable, still suffering. Some they change slowly. Some they understand this one deeply enough and it's a shock. And upon understanding the role that your mind plays in designing and maintaining the life you live, it's such a powerful insight that from that on you have an intense and honest desire to change the way you think. Because how you think is everything. You think you have problems in your body? I tell you, the body is innocent. It is as innocent as a tree. It's just flesh and bones and blood and cells. It doesn't do any harm. Corpses don't hurt people. They don't get offended. They don't get drunk and then get into a street fight. Corpses are pretty harmless. You put a mind into this corpse. I put a drunken mind into this corpse. And the corpse does drunken things. It goes around shooting other people, stealing, lying. Trying to be happy while creating a mess. That's a drunken mind, a monkey mind. The body is not at fault. It is the complaining mind that is at fault. The mind that bites its teeth into my misery. And then it doesn't let go. Like, like the Thai tukke, we have you might hear them sometimes in the houses. They go, I wonder if you've heard them already or not. They can bite. And when they bite, they are known that they don't let go. They bite, and then they hold on. It's a story. I'm not even sure if that's a true story. There's so many stories online. Anyways, I've heard that story. They bite and they don't let go. What you can do is submerge your arm, for example, underwater until they cannot breathe anymore, then they let go. So sometimes we are like this with our problems and our mental habits. Every day it's kind of the same. We go through the same thing. Have you noticed? The same thought systems, the same things we say to ourselves, the same things we say to others. This is what's keeping us trapped. This is what's designing all of your lives. Whatever you think you are, you're limited by that particular thought. We're limited by our own mind. Some people in this world, like you have those famous people, right? Einstein, Newton, everyone knows these names. Some people, they think further. Einstein is known as having said that he's not a particularly clever person. He just sticks with problems longer. But he doesn't stick with a problem for the sake of sticking with a problem. He sticks with a problem for the sake of a solution. So in a way, he's one of these geckos that don't let go, but in a good way. So we constantly want to work on what we are experiencing and how we are experiencing ourselves. Because you can change your life in any way you want. So most people's focus goes on to what they don't want, right? Majority of the time we think about what we don't want. I don't want this, and this is also not so nice, and that's not good. And here I could improve a little bit, and there, God, all that nasty pain. When will it ever stop? When will I ever be cool? When will I ever get enlightened? I'm still not enlightened. I'm still too defiled. And all that kind of stuff, right? And it goes with the problem. So ask yourself right now, well, what do you want? What do you want? Are you clear about that? As clear as you are about what you do not want. Do you spend as much time thinking about what you want? And what is that? Precisely, what do you really want? What do you want from life? What do you want from yourself? That has to be very clear. And many, they are not very clear about that. We don't really know what we want. So life seems like an accident. It almost feels like something that happens to me, doesn't it? Life is happening to me. Sometimes good things happen to me, then bad things happen to me. But it's not about the things that happen to us, it's about how we respond to them. How we either grow from the problems that we experience. There's multiple ways. Even if you're stuck in deep trouble, you can grow from that. It can motivate you. I'll give you an example. You could be stuck, let's say, in deep depression, and what could motivate you is, I want to get out of this so I can help people who are stuck in deep depression, because I see I'm not alone. There's so many people stuck in deep depression. There's many, many people. How wonderful if I could help them. Here's a shift of thinking. And it is in your power. Wouldn't it be great to get out of the depression for the sake of helping those who are stuck? Find a way out. Like be the only one, as in a group of people lost in the forest, that actually has the idea, well, I want to set out to find a way out of this forest, and I will not give up until I find the way out. And then I will get all my friends who are stuck with me, and I get them out too. Because you know the way. You went it. And your words will have impact. Your friends will believe you because you've been there. You were that stuck, right? But you made it out. So if you can tell them, you know, I was as stuck as you are, but I could get out. I was as ill as you were, but I could change the way I think about it. Or I could create healing or whatever. This is something that we respect, that we naturally believe. These words have weight. It might motivate you too. Who could you help? Who could you serve as an example? Are there people that you could think of? And for what reason would they look up to you? Why would you look up to yourself? How are you inspiring yourself? And is that honest? So in short, the essence of this thing is, you don't want to look at what you don't want. And now we go back into this meditation exercise. So instead of dwelling with your attention between your eyebrows, sink with your attention into your entire body instead. Spread your attention out. The attention becomes too narrow. And that's the purpose of this first step in the exercise, which I've developed precisely because I've experienced this problem. The tension between my eyebrows, it got so bad that I started to fear meditation sessions. Each time I sat down in meditation session, I would anticipate that this pressure will come. And it was so overwhelming at times that before I sat down with my meditation, I felt like, oh my God, what if this pressure comes back? So all my attention was consumed with that. Then I went to a monk on retreat, and he just simply tells me, remember, everything is impermanent. And for me, in that moment, that did the trick. Might not do it for you, but for me, it worked in that moment. Something clicked. I said, yeah, of course. And so I started looking at that feeling from a different perspective, and it dissolved. And what also helped me a great deal was starting to relax my legs first before I meditate. Bringing my attention into my legs, away from the head. Most people's attention is anyways way too caught up in the head. Thinking too much. We are dealing with life in terms of mental abstractions and intellectualism rather than directly. We're not feeling life. We're thinking about it. That's a big difference. Feeling alive and thinking about your life. Right? So here, this is why, as the first step, we bring our attention into the entire body, feeling the whole body, starting from the legs, moving up in the body like a tree. You start with your roots, bringing the attention down far away from the head, relaxing, melting, softening. And then, after relaxing the head, spread it out again into your whole body, feeling the whole body. Keep your attention spread. Don't let your attention become narrow, like when you concentrate on something, right? You're focusing on that one little point. That's not it. You want to keep your attention expanded. If it becomes too narrow, the mind becomes too narrow. And we're wasting too much energy there. So instead, gentle, expanded, try to fill your whole body with attention and relax on the out-breath. That way, we're taking our attention away from the problem, getting absorbed in problems, to the solution, becoming open, spacious, and relaxed, allowing for everything to be there, not getting absorbed in that one thing. Instead, giving space for more possibilities also to be there. Not just that one thought we have about ourselves or other people. But there's more possibility. And you can tap into that. So that is all that comes to mind for today about this topic. Are there any questions? Are you happy? And if you're not happy, what could you do to make yourself happy now? What could give you a feeling of comfort and ease and happiness right now? Good dinner. Right now though. Now there is no dinner now. Notice that's the future. How can you make yourself happy now? How can your happiness not depend on something that's not there right now? What could you do? Pardon?
Go up, go to the water pipe and move up to the step by step.
Future. Again, right now, as you sit here, what could you do? Yeah, good example. It immediately would change the way you feel. Try it. And if you haven't tried it, do it hardcore. Smile. In the morning, wake up, look at yourself in the mirror, smile. Try it, please. Even if you're totally destroyed and wasted, you can't sleep at night, you can't do anything, at least you can do one thing, smile. Even if you're on your deathbed, smile. Yeah. Now what else can you do? Life might just push you down. Smile. Life lifts you up, smile. That's our option, how we respond. It's not always easy to smile, but when it's hard to smile, you really learn how to smile. Your smile becomes very strong when it's tough. There's Ajahn Brahm, he's lovely, he's a monk, and he teaches this. He says, I do monk push-ups every morning. Let me teach you how to do monk push-ups. And he's like, you stand in front of a mirror and you do this. And everyone thinks that you walk, oh my God, monk push-up, it must be really hardcore, right? So you say, you do this. Then you put your fingers right here, like that. And then you push up. And repeat. And you just keep doing that. It's just hilarious. Try it. Smile more, laugh more. Watch some Charlie Chaplin movies. That doesn't get you laughing, then look at cute cats. Do anything that lifts your mood, because if you want your life to be better, you need to lift your mood. Got to start there. You got to feel better. Now, what can you do to feel better? When did you feel fantastic the last time? Please recall it right now. When was the last moment that you felt really good? Like really good. Now recall it in detail. Where were you? What's in front of you? What did you see? Are you alone? Are you with people? Where are you standing? How do your feet feel standing on it? Really get into this imagination. Remember a good feeling. That's another option. By remembering a good feeling, you're feeling it now. Do you notice that? Wow, that's really cheap, isn't it? You don't have to do much. You want to feel good? Remember how it feels like to feel good. And there you go. Feeling good. Now keep going. In fact, the world needs more people that feel good, that are happy, joyful. So go out there and dance and sing Oh, there's no reason for me to dance and sing. The world is shit. Smile anyways. The world needs it. Okay. Thank you very much for coming. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves.